know that Pluto crosses Neptune's orbit in 2 places?
No.
I didn't either.
Did you hear all the planets were going to be in alignment?
No.
Yeah, every last planet, like, and it hasn't happened in like 100 and some odd.
And it
or almost
will
200
have
years.
some degree of effect gravitationally.
Marginal.
Well, the question is, will it be a significant amount to do much? It's happened before. We're still here.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is, Pluto's orbit is way elliptical and on a different tilt, and it does one of these type of things. It's always 90 degrees off from. Never gets closer to 90 degrees to Neptune. But if it had not, they said that not only is Neptune affecting the orbit, so is Uranus, Jupiter, and Saturn. There's enough mass there to tug it just a little bit. So that's why it hasn't ran into Uranus, Neptune yet. But we're talking way the heck out there. You know that telescope? That telescope that I have, folks gave me? Okay, you can see Mercury and Venus. I've done that. Okay, you can see terrestrial stuff. It has a terrestrial correcting prism in it, where you can look at stuff. Like if we had a place with a view, I would not have gotten rid of it. And it has a star, 90-degree star one, and it's also got the sun projection screen and the sun protection lens. Okay, it can also go up to 500 times magnification. You can see Mars and some of its moons. I think there's 2. Okay, you can see Saturn, the rings, and a couple of the Galileo moons on Saturn with it. You can look at Jupiter, and they said if you're careful, you can look at Uranus and Neptune with it. And you can look at some of the galaxies. Like
how far do we have from the city? You have to get to see that crap?
You wouldn't have to get out of town a bit. No, actually, for some of it you would be okay, but and the pictures of the moon are just superb from it. But the one of the problems is I didn't get the star drive with it when I should have, because that would jump the price up thousands of dollars. But without that,
I can get some good pictures using my 300mm lens on my camera.
We can. Back then, you couldn't. Even when I had a 600mm lens, I used to have a.
Well, let's say actually equivalent to what a 300 is for mine.
Well, when I had my Mamiya Seiko,
when you compute it to a full frame, it's about 600.
When I had my Mamiya Seiko that I bought in Vietnam, I brought a 250, a 400, a 50, a 35 or something like that, 28. So I had about 4 lenses. When you put the 400 or 600mm lens on it, you can take pictures inside of a football game and made it feel like you were the player next to the guy. It could shoot amazing stuff. I shot some beautiful stuff in Yosemite and other places with it. But you know, for practicality, my little Kodak one is pretty cool, actually. Now, is it up to the new standards? No.
Not close.
But at the time, for not a lot of money, I got a pretty functional camera.
Yeah.
It needs AA batteries like there can be, but
oh yeah, it does.
But it does a pretty good job of taking pictures.
I mean, if you want a better camera, I mean, other than your phone, if you want a better camera, I know cheaper ones that'll do a lot better job than the little Kodak would do.
But the thing that's nice about the little Kodak is I know how to use it, and all I got to do is put AA batteries in it.
Yeah, and you don't have to change lenses like I do.
Right.
Which can be some pros and cons.
So until it dies, I still have that 35mm with the lens on it, which was a compromised lens, 250, something like that. And
well, the one camera I want to go with when it comes out, of course, it's probably going to be $5,000. I won't be able to afford it, but
no.
The camera I want to have when they come out is the Sony full-frame A7R5, which is supposed to be a damn good camera.
Well, my problem the other day when I was trying to shoot pictures was outside, I couldn't deal with the angle of the light, and I couldn't see the screen. Whereas if I'd had the camera, I could have.
They're also the full-frame lenses are very expensive.
Well,
they're very expensive. They weigh a lot, even if the camera doesn't weigh that much. And if some of these ones that are really far out for the equivalent of what a micro four thirds that I have is, you got to have another tripod to hold up the damn lens. The damn.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, some of them, like 1,000 millimeter or something.
Yeah. Well, that's what the focal length.
You're not going to hold this on your own, no.
On that telescope, it's a 60 millimeter injective with a 1,000 millimeter focal length.
But some of them have 60 millimeter, 61 megapixel or 100 megapixel full frame lenses.
Yeah, that's the new.
I'm like, even if you only have a 300 millimeters lens that you can actually hold, which is still going to be a lot of weight.
Which is fine.
That amount of megapixels to zoom in is going to be so much better.
Oh yeah. When I bought the Kodak, it seemed like a really good buy.
Well, Panasonic isn't bad. If I really wanted to upgrade it, I could upgrade to something. Since I have a lot of lenses.
I don't really, because it does exactly what I wanted. It's a simple camera that does a fairly decent job.
Well, the 100 to 300 millimeter lens that I have,
oh yeah,
was a whole lot cheaper than the 100 to 400 millimeter lens.
Yes.
Do I need that extra 100 millimeters?
No.
I don't know.
No.
Is it worth paying an extra $1,000 over?
No. If you're professional, it is. If you're not,
I remember the lens I bought. Oh yeah, I bought that fast one. I bought that 45 millimeter 1.2 because I wanted something for low light. Well, that's pretty much the best you can get for low light. It still has stabilization on it. Yes, you can get lower. You can get like 0.8, but it has no stabilization built in.
Yeah. Well, like with a lot of things.
This was down from, normally that lens is like $1,600 normally.
Yeah.
I got it used, still in good shape used though, and I can't tell a damn thing had any. It says dinks and dents. I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, I don't see any dinks or dents. I don't know where they're looking at that.
Yeah.
You know, I got it for $670 on Black Friday special, which I thought was a good deal because they're only $1,500-$1,600 brand new.
Well, they said when my folks bought this for me, it probably cost $150 or so.
In 1960.
1960 something. All right, that's equivalent to about $800 now.
Yeah.
That was a pretty damn.
What's about what those pretty good ones runs now?
Yeah, that was a big investment.
Because I looked at some of those Sky whatever versions and the Magellans and other ones a couple years ago because I was thinking about it, and then I realized that my camera that I had with slightly better glass would do just about the same roughly. Yeah. I mean, maybe not exactly, but
you're not going to have
But I could shoot stills or video or something, and I wouldn't have that.
Have the equatorial mount that you can align with the stars, put the star drive on, look up. But are you doing it? No. At the university, we did it with the 16.5-inch Smith Cassadine reflector.
But now you can get a little app on your phone that if you angle it towards the sky, it'll tell you what the constellations are in that area. And then if you put that right next to your camera, you can probably align your camera for your phone and your camera pretty good.
This has setting circles on it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's even better.
But in the era, everything was done with charts. It even has a couple charts in the owner's manual in it. And I had taken it to some star parties over the years and done a lot of things with it. The two things I would have liked to have done to it if I was going to use it a lot would be an adapter for that era for a 35 millimeter camera, which I didn't have, and a star drive. So it would adjust for the rotation of the Earth. But still, a guy says, I didn't have any of that. I took this camera and I stuck it up to the lens, and this is the quality picture I shot. And I said, damn good picture of the moon, you know. When we did the ones from up here with the Smith Cassadine 16.5-inch professional, we shot pictures of Jupiter and the common impacts of Jupiter. There's a lot of money in that telescope.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
out in the country, but it's not going to be. It still does a good job. It's like everybody's going to be here today.
Yeah.
You're going to have to show me how to take one of Kurt's images and send it to myself so I can print it off. So I can take the date off. He sent me a text with a listing of members of the club. I want to expand my list of ham radio operators. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to add that into a new run on it. But
They email that to you or just send your phone?
he sent it to my phone.
Oh, that's not bad.
And well, I don't know for sure how to do it. So
We're gonna do a copy.
I have to do it. I have to learn it good enough to know how to do some of this myself at some point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rip up stuff again. Why are we doing
Oh, because they had the money to throw. And in the world over, it's getting hard to get jobs. Doing anything is probably a good idea.
this? Well, no, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, well, you never know what's failing or
stuff, you go,
old
what's
or
wrong with it? Huh?
whatnot.
Yeah, well, then you see sections of her toes. I can see her toes.
Yeah, then they don't do anything. There's no money in that, I guess.
Well, I don't know.
It's almost a fair.
We have missed the breakfast.
Yeah.
Buddy there,
Buddy.
button along. Oh, it's what do you call it? It's FedEx. Their shipment came in earlier today. I watched it on the radar.
My generator. Shipping my freaking generator for
They
crazy.
must have just pumped and full of gas. They can take off and head back.
Still haven't indicated it's been sent yet.
That would be a pretty good little drive, just flying the FedEx back and forth. But.
Depends.
Well, better working at Walmart.
Yeah.
Walmart's not. It's.
Falling apart there too.
I went over there the other day. Oh my God.
Yeah, somebody was saying they were talking about one of these, showing the shelves that are getting stuff. They said they're moving stuff around the store to make sure the shelves were set. So they had in the food cereal aisle, they had boxes of cereals and power tools. Where there's normally was this big, huge boxes of cereal.
Well, they don't have any.
They don't have any, so they put power tools there to fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that tells you how bad things are going. They said somebody was saying in this other store, they said they had cases of motor oil next to the meat.
You're not supposed to do that.
I know.
That's a no-no.
Yeah, it was right next to the meat section.
No, that's a
Case of motor oil.
big no. That's a big no-no.
Huh. I'm like, geez, they found oil.
Yeah. That's one way to say it. Well, yeah, we'll park right here where we're not supposed to. And one of the ones downtown is supposed to be fairly nice. I'm going to go to Kirk. I'm not going to go.
No.
I know Kirk is good. Kirk. Sounds like they were looking your generator over pretty quick.
You should get one of them now.
Well, I like the
Well,
fact
the price is not bad.
The price is good.
And even the solar one isn't bad for the price for what you're getting.
Well, think about what you can do with it.
Yeah.
If you're just
Like I said, the main generator, yes, it's going to have the more power because it's got 3,000 watts of running power with 3,500 watt surge.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to get more for $821 on Amazon right now, which when we paid it was $100 cheaper.
We got it for $100 less.
Yeah, it was like $730 or something
that was
like
a good deal.
Yeah. Well, even $800 right now is not $820 is not bad.
For 3,500 for 3,000 watts.
Yeah, it's not bad for something that quiet.
If I can get them, if I can talk a electrician into setting it up where I could plug it in from the outside.
You could buy another one and you get that parallel thingy.
No.
Well, I'm just saying you could.
No,
you could.
But let's don't even go there.
I'm not going to, but I mean, you have the option to, though.
But if we set it up, okay,
and you have like 6,000 watts.
just slow down. and to where we could plug in, open up the cover, fire up the generator, put in the 30 amp line, plug it into the panel, and it would go into the main on 4 breakers or something like that. We could have enough power to run the furnace, a fridge, your oxygen machine, and lights.
Well,
house-wide.
yeah, that wide, yeah.
So,
but yeah, I mean, the solar one I'm going to get, first off, it'd be dead silent, pretty much, other than the fans running to keep it cool, but those are, like, you talk louder than this machine would use.
But it's only going to do it when it's charging something.
No, I mean, it runs the fans when it's discharging.
Oh, it's got the inverter. Okay, yeah, okay.
But that's the solar generator.
The Jackery's pretty quiet.
Well, yeah, but it's 240 watts. It's not like it doesn't even have. I mean, it has a fan on it, but I mean, you really gotta be pushing that thing for the fan to kick in. And again, I have that 100-watt solar panel, so you should be able to keep pretty good charge unless you're pulling over 100 watts on that thing. On that thing. But yeah, that bigger one I'm getting, I should say. Yeah, it should. That's the thing. You could have it fully charged inside the house.
Yes.
And if something really was starting to happen weird-wise outside, you could have power in the house without anybody knowing.
Correct.
Something like you had a generator or something.
Even that, say it's the middle of winter. And
that's the other thing too. Is there's 6 feet of snow in front of the generator, and
right.
But you may not be able to get to the generator.
Right. So what you can do though, you can run fires.
What I was thinking in that situation is, back by the furnace, assuming we didn't have gas or whatever going on, or whatever. Well, if there's no power, you run the blower now. I mean, assuming we had gas, you could run the oven and keep the kitchen warm.
Yeah.
But in the back, towards where the back by the, because honestly, you want to keep the bathroom area warm.
You want to keep the pipes warm. That's what you want to do.
We have the Jen's old oil thingy. I don't know how much that uses in power.
I'm going to say, I don't know either, but I'm going to say 1,000 to 1,500 watts.
Okay, well that still would work fine with that.
But there are lower settings.
If you set on one of the lower settings, you can still radiate 500 watts heat in that area.
Yep.
You could run it off that solar one. Maybe not forever, but you could run it when it's really cold at night.
Right.
And generate some amount of flowage. Yeah. Or if it was dead really, really, really cold in the house, I mean, you could kick it on. Or even if you were just running the oven, you could have a couple fans blowing that cold, warmer air throughout the rest of the house to some degree.
Yep. Well, even if you put, you could vary the way we're set up right now. If we can get the generator to start, run it in through the window with the double rubber things I've got in the closet. Bring it triplets in there, and run one of them to. Let's take the furnace out of line. The furnace is not available.
Assuming we have no power, but we have gas.
So then what we can do is we can use some water, hot water, which will trip the water heater to heat, which will help warm that part of the house. If we put those 1,500 watt milk house heaters down on 500 watts, we could put one, like you said,
we could run one back there.
And we could run another one out maybe in the living room or our bedroom or something. But we could run them, but we would want to run them on low power. And we would run them off the generator.
Well, either one of the generators.
Well, I'm just saying. So,
and if it was sunny outside, you could take the
panels out.
The panel out. And then run the line.
For an extended outage, you could support.
You could have. You could have something.
Another way to play that game is if they're going to have rotating brownouts.
That's the other thing I was thinking about.
You use it while you have power, and if you don't have power, then you go to the panel, or you just have that's when you're drawing light power off of it. So the other thing I looked at with these LED lights that I've got that take AA batteries.
The problem I was seeing with that was with the brownout things is, at least down in South Africa where they're having these load shedding things, when they drop all power to this stuff, they're dropping all power to like an entire city.
Yep.
So like the gas stations have no gas.
Right.
Now whether these gas stations have generators, that's another story.
Well, some of them are designated to have. They are.
Yeah.
And you'd have to know that, but you can see pretty quick.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'd be running gas for that too.
But you can run ethanol in it. They don't recommend it, but in an emergency, if you're using it full time, run ethanol in it. But the smart thing is to run premium. But if you can't get premium, you could run ethanol in it. But
like Kirk said, they ran out of gas at the pipeline.
Yeah.
This weekend.
What's that tell you?
In Minot.
Yeah. What's that tell you?
Yeah, they're having problems with supply.
Yes.
And demand ain't going down.
Well, that's another thing I'm going to look at. Is I'm going to look at.
So that's another option. I mean, having that extra 5 gallons here and there, but long term that might be an issue.
Well, Barry told me all the things you have to do that safely.
Long term,
It's got to be in metal cans. It got to be grounded. It's got to be this. It's got to be that. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Now, if I have, what I'm going to do is, like I've been trying to do, is not store a lot of gas on site.
No,
I don't want it to go bad.
We don't blowing it up either.
That is another issue. But I'm going to look at. I ran the generator yesterday. I ran with the load. It runs smoother with the load than it does without a load.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Found that interesting.
Well, yeah.
Just when it's loaded, it runs smoother.
What'd you run on the load?
I have one of those old halogen work lights that I bought years ago, and it's 1,000. I don't know how much it is. It takes quite a bit.
I thought about trying to use that Jackery and then shove it and see how that solar panel works. So we're having a few days where it's actually like sunny to some degree.
Well, the other thing I was thinking about is the Jackery. You can put that silly thing
that
anywhere.
Won't take very long to charge. Something's so small.
No, but here's another thing too. If you had something that was smaller than the top of the refrigerator in the back.
Oh yeah.
And not so heavy. Since the coils are on the back of that, in theory, you could put that on top of the fridge.
And it's not like you couldn't get another Jackery that would work with those with that solar panel. It's just when I look at cost per watt, and I'm looking at Jackeries now, I'm very not as enthused about them as I used to be.
Right.
Because when you look at something like the one I recommended to Jen, it's a Blue Eddy. It's their cheapest one for like $270.
Yeah.
And it has, it doesn't have a lot more watt hours than 240 has, but it has a 600 watt inverter versus the 240 watt inverter that's in the little Jackery.
Right.
And when you look at the price, and you're paying roughly about the same amount of money as a 240 Jackery costs, and you're just like, and the good thing about the little Blue Yeti one is it's a LiPo 4 battery, so it's going to last longer. It has bigger inverter, and you can charge it a lot quicker.
Well,
I mean, from 0 to 80%, you can charge it in 30 minutes.
All right.
That last 20%.
Let's back up a little farther now.
Wow.
If we just turn around and say, I have in the house at least 3 of the AA battery powered LED lights, which run a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. We lose power. Emergency lights comes on for about an hour or 2. They're dead. Okay, fine. We turn these little things on at night, and we've got enough light on them that will probably last for a week or more. Right?
Yeah, just in the AA's.
Just on AA's. You have 30 of them on hand.
Yeah.
You're going to have light. Having light is a big deal.
Well, yeah. But even, like I said, these Christmas lights, these just the bright, the regular clear
white ones,
Christmas lights that are LEDs, drain almost no power. In fact, I've seen some people plug them into these battery bank, these battery pack things. You have your cell phones on. They have like little.
They don't even detect.
Some of them
current.
have like AC, little out AC power watts.
But you don't see any
They're like
current
90
drop.
watts or something.
Right. Look,
They're running them for the entire time of Christmas
Yes.
on this little power pack.
Look at this. Something big going on down there.
Okay. That's a lot of. I wonder if there's an accident.
It looks like an accident and or construction.
That many red and blue
Fire
lights.
truck sideways across the road. That's
That's probably a big accident.
yeah. Okay, but you could have lights.
Yep.
And you could power the big TV easily off.
Yeah.
Of
See, that's this winter. I'm really getting concerned about, because now they're talking in California and the western coast, because the Hoover Dam and some of these other dams are some of the suction pipes are sticking out above the water line.
That's not good.
And they said if it keeps dropping the way it's dropping, that by the end by October, they won't have enough flow for anything.
Which will be dead in the water.
Which will be a dead pool.
Yep. Well, and above it,
problem is
ain't doing that good.
The problem is
not doing that.
They're going to be switching back to coal and natural gas to offset the energy issues.
Yes.
So now you're going to be using a whole bunch of natural gas,
which is going to jack the price up on natural gas.
And supply is going down.